to lose anyway. So I've had a really good day today. Did a coaching session with a client. Oh yeah, I went to the gym in the morning. So I'm going to be sharing on this live stream things that I've been learning at the moment. This is through real life experiences, through coaching people on my 1-year program, 6 weeks confidence program, events, and through my own life experience and just everything, through doing traveling, boxing, running a business, challenges, and especially through going through the mental health breakdown that I had in 2017 and being really proud of myself for coming back and making a full recovery, which has been life-changing. So it's a collection of different experiences and the ongoing challenges that clients have that I help them with. So the first lesson today that I've learned, I'm going to make a video about this. I've done some writing. It's a problem that all men have. I see it, especially today, and I had it. And it's really important to get handled, and that's being slow to anger. A lot of men can't control finding it difficult to control their emotions and their anger. And I can speak from experience that anger is one of those emotions that everybody feels anger, so there's nothing to be ashamed of. But if you don't control it, it can ruin your life, it can ruin all your relationships, especially with making money and getting ahead in your career and your business, or in any career for that matter, because money is relationships for the most part. And your romantic relationships, or your partner, or your friendships, your family. And it's not an easy thing. You've really got to go to war with your own demons. You've got to be very strong. So that's something that I didn't realize until recent, that I've been helping pretty much all my clients with. Because where there's anxiety, there's going to be anger. Where there's hurt, where there's pain, shame, things that have happened to you. But the good news is, all successful people have had to get past their anger and be slow to anger, something that my faith has really taught me, and I'm learning, because I used to be really bad with it as well. I couldn't control it. Through experience, mentors, and coaching others, and improving my life, through discipline, through accountability, through creating a vision, through working hard towards that vision. And it's a combination of all the things. I've achieved a lot of success in my life. I've also experienced lots of failure, lots of hardships, lots of challenges in relationships, financial, mental, emotional, physical. So it's a collection of learning and wanting to be a better person. That's the question I usually come back with clients if they say that they have emotional problems that are stopping them, especially with anger. My question will always be, well, do you want to overcome it? Because there's one thing saying that I've got an issue, I've got anger or shame, or I don't believe in myself, or I know I can be treating people better, but I'm not doing it. It's okay saying it, but it's a completely different question. Do you want to improve it? And of course, if the answer is no, then I wouldn't be able to help someone who's not committed. You can't force someone to change or to look at their anger and improve it in the way they treat people. But if you say, I really want to improve it and I'm willing to work really hard at it, then you can change it. You're already starting right there. And that goes for anything. So I've learned that lately, that anger is a human emotion, but it needs to be controlled, especially for men, and it needs to be controlled, and it needs to be channeled into a positive outlet, whether that's exercise, which it should be, any exercise, for example, boxing, MMA, weight training, running. I think the best things, in my opinion, are exercises where they're intense, your heart rate goes up and you sweat a lot. So boxing, long runs, hill runs, sprints, all that sort of stuff where it's physically demanding and you feel great after. If you feel angry because of the stress of life, or someone's upset you, or trauma, or someone at work, whatever, if you go and hit a punch bag for 2 hours or go and do boxing, you come out of that gym and you're the most peaceful person. You're a lot peacefuler because you've got the anger out in a positive way. Now, of course, the worst thing to do is what people do is when they just take their anger out on other people, and that only ruins relationship. Well, if the anger stems from people around you, you can't change other people, but you can change yourself. So it's always about taking personal responsibility. And of course, that's the challenge for everyone. We live in a world where there's many angry people. You can't change other people unless you're a confidence coach or a therapist and people are coming to you and they're asking you to help them. You can only change yourself. So it's not your concern. It shouldn't be your concern about everyone around you, although I do understand it is challenging for all of us, your concern should be your own anger. If you get control of your own anger and you're in a better place, then you're not as alarmed or triggered by other people. And that is the best you can do as a human being. That is a hell of a lot. Also, of course, you know, if you can remove yourself from environments that are negative or angry and get yourself around positive people. But look, the reality is, even positive people that are very happy and loving, they get angry, but it's all about self-control. And that's why I put out my teaching, the confidence coaching, and I break it down, and I put out the videos of boxing. The more you train, the more fitter your mind is, and the more you get discipline over your anger, the better place you're in, the happier you are, the more successful you are, the more you help people, the more you live a positive life, the more, if you create a vision. So, you know, a lot of men are angry because they're angry at themselves for not taking responsibility. That's the real anger. Of course, the anger is from being hurt. We've all been hurt, but we could all use that sob story and say, well, everybody hurt me. But yeah, everyone's been hurt growing up. It's not nice. It's not honest, but it happens, and we've hurt. We've all hurt someone at some point. So it's like, you know, if you become successful, you'll be less angry. That's what happened to me. When I became happy and achieved the goals that I set out to achieve in my early 20s to late 20s, all of a sudden I'm a much nicer, calmer person. So a lot of the anger is self-hatred, self-anger, you know, disappointment in yourself because you're not being accountable, you're not being disciplined, and you're blaming everybody else, and you're making excuses, and you're being very critical. So it really does take a lot of honesty and discipline to be accountable and take responsibility, even when others have done you wrong, which isn't right. I'm not saying it's right, but if you blame everybody that's hurt you, then you've just made yourself unsuccessful. You've found an excuse. And successful people don't blame people for their unhappiness or unfulfillment. They take responsibility, and if anything, they use the pain and the hurt, and they become a better person. Because if someone is nasty to you when you're younger, and you grow up and then you just be nasty to everyone else, you're no different to the person who abused you. But if you can, obviously, justice should be served, which it will be at some point. But if you say, right, I'm actually going to go out and be a better person, because I know how it feels to not be treated well and someone to make you feel terrible, whatever they've done. That's true character, true strength of character. But obviously, you've got to want to do it. And I would never coach someone who didn't want to work on themselves and improve their life, or speak to someone. So you've got to really make a commitment to do it. So that's what I've learned so far about anger. And of course, you know, love is stronger than anger. It's overriding that emotion of love and being kind. And it's a daily discipline to control your anger and to do positive things. But yeah, training, building the right relationships, it's all about self-control, you know, and having values. And of course, for me, everyone's different. Having faith in God, you know, my faith has helped me to get past anger and hurt, and, you know, have more love in my heart, more compassion, and want to move forward in life and be a better person and treat people how you want to be treated. And these are good questions to ask yourself. Just ask yourself this question. If you really want to see if you're improving in your life and you want to be a better person, ask yourself the honest question, are you treating people really well? Can you answer that question honestly, whether it's yes or no? Do you like the way that you treat people? Do you think that you are a good person? And if the answer is no on all of them, then obviously you've got a chance to change that and turn that into a yes. These were the brave questions I was forced to ask myself starting out, because a lot of people are naive. They think they're just going to build a business, they're going to make millions of pounds, they're going to lose weight, they're going to get their dream relationship. They think they're going to do all this, but they're going to avoid all their issues, and it's not possible. You can't skirt around your demons and your issues and just get to success, because at some point you're going to be forced to confront it. So it's actually a positive thing to confront it. That's how all successful people change for the better. Usually the most successful people, usually, it's not always the case, but it is consistent, they come from really bad places, same in my case, in many levels, and they get into a great place through taking responsibility, having a vision, facing their fears, humbling themselves, going through the failures, the rejections, the disappointments, the hurts, the pains, the abuse, the bullying, and they overcome it and they become successful and make a difference to other people. Another thing lately that I've learned, I did do a video about this. It was a really good one. You should check it out. And I think the title is A Billionaire's Mindset. And it's all about attitude. It's all about, I learned this from building a successful business in my early 20s, late 20s, sorry, about 29, and then by my 30th birthday, the success continued. I had a great life. I achieved all my goals back then. I was financially free. I built a successful coaching business. I was with the girl of my dreams at the time, in love, moved in together. I was famous in my industry, and I was very happy for several years, but then I got hit with a mental health breakdown in 2017 at age 34 after being on top of the world. And I was very unwell. I lost all my confidence. Financially, didn't have any savings, didn't manage money well, was good at making money. Anyway, it was a humbling experience. It was the worst time of my life to begin with, but it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me because it made me change a lot of my negative ways. It made me appreciate my life. It made me change my whole business model. Everything changed. That's why I've got in shape now, and I've got a passion to come back, which I have done, thank God, and share my story. The second part, I've got two stories, and I've just shared both with you briefly, and I learned more from the second part. So my biggest success in my life was not building a successful business and making money and being famous to the people that knew me. My biggest success is having a mental health breakdown, being humbled, learning from my mistakes and becoming a better person, having faith, getting in touch with my faith and coming back. And I'm off the medication. I'm in the best place I've ever been. I'm better than I even was in my first chapter of my life. And now I've redesigned my whole life, my business, and I'm continuing to build this new vision, which I love, which is called Confidence Coaching. And I'm helping men and women to create a vision for themselves so they can overcome their fears and their anxieties, and they can turn the negative into positive and become successful in life. Not just successful financially or in business or in relationships, which is part of it, but to be happy in who they are and to share their story and to live a successful, meaningful life, a life of gratitude. So I live a life every day now. Of course I have challenges. I have the challenges that we all have. We all have the challenges of existence, financial, relationships. But despite those challenges that we all face, whether we're a billionaire or we don't have any money, I live a life of gratitude and meaning. I'm grateful for my life every day because I had a lot of success and I didn't appreciate all of it. Some of it was good, some of it wasn't. And I went through the mental health breakdown. So the mental health breakdown was the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. It's made me a better person. It's made me understand people more. It's educated me on business, mental health. It's given me a passion. It's given me a hunger to win and inspire and motivate and impact more men, more women. And things have been going brilliant since I relaunched my business and changed everything and started doing these events and coaching people in all areas of life. Finances, confidence, relationships, traveling, all these areas, discipline, absolutely living a dream. And I like the challenge of it. So there's some things there. Now, I wrote this lately, another lesson I've learned lately for anybody, men and women, I suppose especially men, you've got to learn to handle that emotion of disappointment, that emotion, that perceived rejection. Doesn't mean it's rejection, but if you feel rejected, if you're going for your dream job, which happened to my client, it wasn't his dream job, but he was going for a job, applying for a job. He's got his vision, he worked with me, he did my 6 weeks confidence program. And I was helping him to get over his social anxiety, his self-doubt, so he can build a successful business. He wants to become financially free so he can look after his parents. He wants to be confident. He wants to fulfill his potential by the time he's 30, he's about 27. So he was very disappointed because he didn't get a job at a high esteemed hotel, and I went with him. But I helped him, I coached him on how to get past that emotion, not let that break your spirit. He went to another hotel and got much better news, and he's already got a job. So you have to handle that emotion. That was what holds a lot of people back. Look, we all fail in life. even a billionaire, millionaire, it doesn't matter how much money you've got, you can't be successful every time, but it's how you handle it. How is your attitude when you're not getting the things you want? Can you still treat people with respect? Can you still be fair on your parents? Can you still find gratitude in everything in life? And if you can, then you're successful. If you can't, then you've got more work to be done. And then you will eventually be successful. As Les Brown said, if you're hungry and you've got a larger vision for yourself and you work hard and you're a good person and you never give up, you will fail your way to success. For every failure that you get, a new opportunity will present itself, but only if you're awake, only if you're positive, only if you're driven, only if you have a passion. If you don't, then you're going to close the doors down on success, on opportunities, because of your negative thinking, your lack of gratitude, your bad attitude, and your unwillingness to persevere and keep fighting the good fight with your dreams and taking responsibility for your issues, your anxieties, your limitations. Something I've learned recently. Another thing that I've learned recently, which is probably the hardest thing for men, and it's been very hard for me, I'm making progress and my clients are, and it's patience. Patience is the one thing that most men don't want to talk about and they don't like. It's human nature. But being patient for that financial breakthrough in your business or in your career, being patient with your anger, being patient with the relationship that you desire, that you want, that you're not getting yet, that you're worried about, that you're stressed about, that you're angry about, that you feel it's unfair, that you're jealous that other people have it and you don't. Patience comes with faith. Patience and faith is strengthened through hard work, having a vision which is so big that your mind don't agree with it and it triggers your self-doubt. That's a sign of a good vision. Working towards that vision every single day by taking responsibility, setting goals, building the right habits and going towards it every day, and also appreciating the present moment. So two things that I practice: being excited about creating a better future, but practicing everyday gratitude and being happy in the now, because all we've got is today and tomorrow's not promised. But it is good to have a bright future to look towards, to give us hope, excitement. We can plan the next day. It's very important that we can find gratitude in the now, and I've found that through the most simple things: drinking a coffee, walking through the park, having good thoughts in my head, being kind to people, going to the gym, hitting the punch bag, having a good old workout on the bag, can't beat that, going for a run, going for a long run, getting inspiration from great people like David Goggins. So, you know, it's these are things that I learned on the second chapter of my life. So I learned all this from having everything that I wanted and losing everything and then thinking, well, my life's over. But it wasn't over, it just began. So it's never over unless you give in and you allow yourself to be spiritually, mentally, emotionally defeated, and only you can do that. Another thing I've learned lately, which is a lot of people do, it's human nature to begin with. A lot of men are asking God, I want finances, I want financial freedom, I want the right relationship, I want confidence, I want to be successful, I want to be respected, I want to be this, I want to be that. You're asking for these things, and that's fine to have goals and dreams and visions, and I help people to achieve that. But you're not willing to develop the character to handle those things. And until you develop the character, two things are going to happen. You're not going to achieve those things because you've not earned them. Even worse, you're going to achieve them, but you won't be able to handle them because you've not built the character. You don't have a strong integrity. You don't have the humility. You don't have the gratitude. You don't have the maturity, and you don't have the mental and emotional strength to handle financial freedom, to handle the woman of your dreams, and to handle responsibility, and to handle criticism, because criticism comes with financial freedom. Lots of people don't like it when you have that, and criticism comes with having a great relationship. Criticism is a knee-jerk reaction, it's a consequence of being successful. No successful person on planet Earth doesn't get criticized, because human nature, the negative part of human nature, is resentful, angry, bitter, judgmental, and critical. Now, of course, if you don't want to live in hate and resentment, you don't become that person. You control yourself through discipline, through faith, through good values, through good relationships, through wanting to be a good person, through practicing that every day. And then you're not in that place. But it's part of it. It's a compliment. No one criticised me when I was on benefits. I was depressed, I had anxiety, and I didn't teach and speak the way that I do now and go out and live my dreams. But when I became successful, everybody had an opinion about me. Some not so good, some good, but it doesn't bother me because I don't live for the opinions of other people. I live for the opinion of myself. I follow my values, I follow what my faith, what I feel God puts in my heart, and I continue helping the right people. And I have compassion, and I pray and I practice an ongoing forgiveness for anybody who hates me or criticises me just because I'm successful, just because I speak the truth in what I teach and I help people, and I choose to live a life not of mediocrity, but a life of meaning, joy, gratitude, and great challenge every day. So that's another thing. We'll be finishing up soon. Another thing I've learned as well is that most men, they don't work hard enough. They're naive. They underestimate how hard you've got to work to lose 30 pounds, lose weight, get in shape. They underestimate how hard you've got to work to become successful in business or financial freedom or in your career. And they underestimate how hard you've got to work to build the character to attract the right woman, a good relationship. And they underestimate how hard they've got to work to win and earn the respect of other human beings. They underestimate it. They don't work hard enough. They have the wrong attitude. They have a bad attitude towards themselves, life. So it's awakening and understanding that you've got to change. And change happens through wanting to change and experience and training and repetition. So you've got to work hard. It's easy to sit there and criticize people that are successful and point out where they're not good, where the weaknesses are. That's pretty easy to do that, but it's not easy to look at your own weaknesses and go, where am I weak? Well, I'm weak in like so many areas, and start working on your weaknesses, your strengths, practicing discipline, cleaning your apartment, putting on clean clothes, taking care of your responsibilities, whether it's financial, mental, emotional, going out, getting comfortable, being uncomfortable, working hard, humbling yourself, going through the rejections and the failures and the inevitable daily, weekly, yearly disappointments, but still having a good attitude, still being hungry, as the great Les Brown says, still being driven, still having a passion to serve other people and be a better person. When you've got that sort of mentality and heart, it's only a matter of time before you're successful. Success comes to those who've got the right attitude. Success comes to those who work hard for it. Success comes to those who've got an unshakable self-belief, got humility, and are not deterred or discouraged by the opinions or ignorance or hate or criticism of other people. So yeah, that'll be it today. That's quite a lot of the lessons I've been learning through coaching, my own experiences, and just doing some reflecting. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Enjoy your weekend. I'm looking forward to my event this Sunday, and I'll be putting up more videos. I'll speak to you guys soon, all right? Enjoy your Friday.